Congress will subpoena these rank and file members of the FBI so that we can get down to the nitty gritty and start putting some of these scumbags like these two ugly people you see right here behind bars. They need to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Lock them up! Hey everybody, Weasel here, and we have another podcast. I'm on Hedge. Got a new article that just came out a couple hours ago from Durden. Yes, you may have seen some of his articles in my previous videos. Tyler, thank you. If you ever do happen to make your way across this channel and in these podcasts, we really do appreciate what you do. All right, so let's dive right into it. Rank and file FBI agents, quote, sickened, end quote, by Comey and McCabe want to, quote, come forward and testify, end quote. So he's saying right here in the title, rank and file FBI agents are sickened by Comey and McCabe, and they want to come forward and testify. Okay, before we dive in, I gotta preface this podcast with something specific here. We have to try to put ourselves in these rank and file FBI agents' shoes. We got to use a little bit of empathy here, and think about their integrity. If they know something, which I'm sure a lot of them do. Come on now, let's be honest. And if what Tyler's telling us here is true, they are sickened and they want to come forward and testify, why haven't they? That's the question, right? Which I'm sure, I haven't read the full article yet, so I'm sure we're going to find out. But my guess here is that you can't. I mean, you can't just come out. I mean, this is classified stuff. You can't just come out and give all this information away. There is there's politics inside the agency. You know, there's a hierarchy. There's a certain way of doing things, just like with anything else. They can find themselves in some hot water. That's why they're not sitting down just talking to those slime balls over at CNN or you know, sitting down with somebody at Fox and giving them an exclusive interview. It's just not going to happen. They're going to be sidelined. They're going to be kicked in the balls, so to speak. Excuse my language. So I'm trying to put myself in their shoes here. How do they do it? What's the way to go about it? Let's see what Tyler is saying in this article here. Several FBI agents would like Congress to subpoena them. They would like Congress to subpoena them. Why? Why would an FBI agent want to be subpoenaed? I mean, let's think this through. Because when you're subpoenaed, you are testifying under oath. You have to tell the truth. Well, let me rephrase that. You are supposed to tell the truth. These slime balls over here, Comey and McCabe, obviously when they're subpoenaed, they don't tell the truth. But our rank and file FBI agents, I'm sure the majority of them are good people, good honest people, the utmost integrity, so when they are subpoenaed by Congress, of course they would sit down and tell the truth. And that's the whole point in this article. This is what Tyler is telling us. These are good people. They know some things. They need to sit down. Now, is it good or bad that they know? I don't know. Let's see. They would like Congress to subpoena them so that they can step forward and reveal dirt on former FBI Director James Comey and his deputy, Andrew McCabe, reports the Daily Caller. So, this is where he's getting the information from, is the Daily Caller, citing 3 active field agents, former federal prosecutor Joe, and if I pronounce this incorrectly, forgive me, Joe, but Joe DeGenova. Okay, so what did I say? They want to reveal dirt. I mean, that's pretty intimate knowledge to say that they want to reveal dirt on Comey and McCabe over here. Okay, let's be honest. Of course they've got dirt on them. We know that. Allegedly, but I mean, well, that's the whole point. That's what we're trying to figure out. That's why I'm on YouTube now making these videos. That's why I'm doing these podcasts, because this is the most heart-wrenching thing I've ever seen. I'm a patriot, and to see what I believe allegedly has happened, the deep state silent coup that they were attempting, this is why I'm doing this. This is not for making money. This is not to be seen or heard. This is just because I want to get to the bottom of this so that we can fix it. That's the whole idea here. Now, and I'm sure that's what Tyler, the author, is doing for us as well. All right, and I'm getting off topic. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I always seem to do that. I apologize. Back on topic. So, they're citing the Daily Caller is citing 3 active field agents and former federal prosecutor Joe DiGenova. Here's the quote from the Daily Caller. Quote, "There are agents all over this country who love the Bureau and are sickened by James Comey's behavior, and Andrew McCabe and Eric Holder and Loretta Lynch and the thugs like John Brennan, who, despite the fact that the Bureau was used as a tool of political intelligence by the Obama administration thugs, former federal prosecutor Joe DiGenova told the Daily Caller Tuesday, they are just waiting for a chance to come forward and testify." Like they're anxious. Okay, so this Joe DiGenova, the way he's putting it is that they're just dying to come forward. They're just waiting for it. They've got some dirt. They are ready. And they're sickened by Comey and McCabe and Holder and Lynch and Brennan and the entire Obama administration. Thugs is the word they used. Thugs. You know, I think that's pretty accurate. That one deserves a purple color of importance. Absolutely. So this is Joe DiGenova right here. Let's see if he goes on. Okay, he does. So Joe DiGenova, a veteran D.C. attorney who President Trump initially wanted to hire to represent him in the Mueller probe, only to have to step aside due to conflicts. I don't know the conflicts. I haven't researched them. Don't really care. But that was good of him. You know, there were conflicts. He said, you know what? I got to step aside. Mr. President, I can't represent you. Here's a good reference. You know, unlike the previous administration and what we're used to dealing with, those slime balls, scumbags, criminals that they are, but I digress, has maintained contact with, quote, rank and file, end quote, FBI agents, as well as counterintelligence consultant who interviewed an active special agent in the FBI's Washington field office, producing a transcript by the caller. So the Daily Caller produced an actual transcript. Sweet. So I will have to go find that. So apparently Joe DiGenova's counterintelligence consultant interviewed. Wait, hold on. Slow down, Weasel. Say, Weasel, slow down. Counterintelligence consultant. What is that? You know what that must be? It's like his own private detective or private dick, if you will. And he's the one who interviewed an active special agent in the FBI, and of course there's a transcript of this through the caller. These agents prefer to be subpoenaed to becoming an official government whistleblower. That's it. So that answers our question from earlier. That answers it right there. Why? Why can't they just come out and say it? Well, obviously they want to be subpoenaed, as we covered, because they're forced to testify and tell the truth instead of actually coming out at their own will. Even though, now that's kind of funny. It's like an oxymoron, I guess. It's like they want to do it, but they need to be forced to do it. But yet they can't come out at their own will, even though they have the will to do it, because they can't become a whistleblower. Everybody knows what happens to whistleblowers, so that's definitely a stigma you don't want. You will be ruined, and your family will be ruined and shunned, and you will become the scum of the earth because people are going to supposedly die because of what you did and this and that. Well, You all know the story. Anyways, I digress. Since they fear political and professional backlash, the former Trump administration official explained to the Daily Caller. So they're fearing that backlash. All right, so that definitely answers our questions of why they want to be subpoenaed. They don't want to be labeled a whistleblower. They don't want to be kicked in the balls. They don't want to be shunned. They don't want to be exiled. They don't want their children crucified. And well, I don't need to paint a picture. Sorry. The subpoena is preferred, said DeGenova. Quote, because when you are subpoenaed, Congress then pays for your legal counsel. You know, that's a good point. The subpoena is preferred, said DeGenova, because when you are subpoenaed, Congress then pays for your legal counsel, and the subpoena protects the agent from organizational retaliation. They are on their own as whistleblowers. They get no legal protection, and there will be no organizational retaliation against them. Okay, so our tax-paying money buys them legal counsel. So that's good. That's a good thing. That's why these guys and gals haven't come out and testified yet, according to, of course, Tyler Durden. Which, again, thank you, Tyler. DeGenova and his wife, Victoria, I don't know how to pronounce her name, so we're just going to say Toenzing, have long represented government whistleblowers. So this is what they've done. They've long represented these whistleblowers. So that's why, because you're thinking like, well, how do these guys get, how they end up talking to these FBI agents? This DeGenova. And that's how, it's because this is what they do. They represent these whistleblowers. Most recently, Toenzing became counsel for William D. Campbell, the former CIA and FBI operative that was deeply embedded in the Russian uranium industry, only to be smeared by the Obama administration when he gathered evidence of two related bribery schemes involving, here we go, Russian nuclear officials, an American trucking company, and efforts to route money to the Clinton Global Initiative, surprise, surprise, through an American lobbying firm in order to overcome regulatory hurdles, according to reports by The Hill. Okay, so they're going back to the whole Russian nuclear thing. You guys remember that, right? You know what I'm talking about? Back whenever Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State and she was just giving away our uranium to the Russians, knowingly, that we know for a fact. She knowingly gave away our uranium to the Russians and took kickbacks for it. In her global initiative, the Clinton Global Initiative, their fund for helping the world. I wonder how much world they're really helping with the CGI, but I digress. So it's a prime example. He's laying out a perfect example of what happened. This Campbell, he's former CIA and FBI operative. He comes out and he says, look, the Russians are cornering the uranium market, and we as Americans are pretty much just giving away our uranium. 25%, I've heard conflicting numbers, but we'll say 20% of our uranium deposits to the Russians. And he comes out to expose it. And what does the Obama administration do? Well, they shun him. They smeared him. He's a whistleblower. God forbid a patriot like that, this Mr. Campbell, who I have nothing but respect and admiration for, has ruined his life, his kid's life, and his kid's life, and maybe even further on down the line, because, Obama's corruption, and because of Hillary Clinton and her husband's greed. They sold America down the river. And this guy tries to expose it, and look what happens. America pisses on him. Yeah, that's how we treat people who try to do the right thing. So obviously, no wonder. That's why. Let's go back up. That's why they haven't come forward to testify. Tyler, I'm starting to see the picture you're painting here. Thank you. Thank you again. I see it now. They are just waiting for a chance to come forward and testify. They don't have a chance. That's the point. Because what's going to happen to him? Well, the same thing that happened to this patriot right here. And don't get me wrong. There are certain times when whistleblowers should not be talking. Okay? I get that. You know, there are truly lives at stake. There are secrets that don't need to be revealed. But something like this, come on. Let's just be honest. This was just sheer greed from the Obama administration and the Clintons. And a few other odds and ends. With a few other people involved. Anyways, DeGenova told the Daily Caller that asking for a congressional subpoena is, quote, an intelligent approach to the situation given the vindictive nature of the Bureau under Comey and McCabe. I have no idea how to read Chris Wray, who is not a leader and who has disappeared from the public eye during this entire crisis. You know, he may be cleaning house, but if he's doing so, he's doing it very quietly, end quote. Oh. Asking. So this is like willfully asking to be subpoenaed, saying, look, hello, here I am. Come on, subpoena me, Congress. Subpoena me. Congressional subpoena right here. He's saying that is the right way to go to potentially avoid what happened to William D. Campbell over here and many more after him and before him, of course. I get it now. So they're asking to tell the truth. I mean, how often do you get something like that? The FBI rank and file members they're coming out asking, saying, hey, we need a congressional subpoena so I can tell you how much of a slime ball Comey is and how much Mr. Cabe is a traitor to his country. Quote, I don't blame them, end quote, added DeGenova. Quote, I don't blame the agents one bit. I think that the FBI is in a free fall. You know, I'm starting to hear that a lot, Mr. DeGenova. You know, and I kind of refuse to believe it. I feel like FBI is being attacked a little bit. And there's great people in the FBI, but we can't ignore the facts. You know, and these facts are just pouring out. I mean, they're pouring out like water. That's how quickly they're coming. Right out the water faucet, you know, just spewing out. And it's not the rank and file members, for the most part, from my understanding. And remember, I will say it again, this is my opinion, okay, based off of what I have put together. It's the leadership. James Comey, Andrew McCabe, the Justice Department, all of them under the Obama administration. I mean, look what they were doing. Look what they did. They spied on the Trump campaign. They provided intelligence to the Hillary campaign. I mean, it's just this. I don't see how this isn't the most talked about thing in the country right now. You know, I could get on to a couple different websites I know of and see what the most searched phrases on Google are, and I guarantee you nothing close to this. Not even close. I mean, this should be like the story of the century. But the drive-by runaway media is just hiding it all. They don't really care. They'll give a couple minutes or a couple seconds on it, and they'll spin it. That's what they'll do. Because they're part of it. They were in on it. All the leaking from the FBI. The leadership of the FBI is who was leaking all that information. Anyways, I digress. Because I'm getting off topic again. Which I am well known for. Alright, so James Comey has destroyed the institution he claims to love. And it is beyond a doubt that it is going to take a decade to restore public confidence because of Comey and Clapper and Brennan and Obama and Lynch. Yes, they have officially defecated all over the Justice Department. It's going to take a little while. It really will, to restore confidence. Meanwhile, the agent from the Washington field office says that the rank and file FBI agents are, quote, fed up. You know, end quote. I believe that. I really do believe that. They're fed up. That's it. All the corruption. And they're being smeared. Let's be honest. These rank and file, the normal people like you and me, they just happen to work for the government. You know, they're federal agents, good people. They're fed up. Why? Because they're being defecated all over by the former administration. I'd be fed up too. They're being smeared when they're just good people, most likely, from my assumption. It was the leadership. It was the people above them doing this. That's why they're fed up. Well put, Tyler. Well put. I do agree with you on that one, buddy. And thank you for this article again, by the way. And let's see. And desperately want the DOJ to take action, according to transcripts in the interview. Man, I've got to get those transcripts. All right, I will get those transcripts, and we'll do a podcast on them. Quote, every special agent I have spoken to in the Washington field office wants to see McCabe prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Thank you. Amen. Sorry, I slammed on my desk there. That was inappropriate. Look, that needs to be highlighted. That's just... Yes, I will give it a nice shiny green color. Oh, you know what? They feel the same way about Comey, the agent said. Absolutely. Me too. I feel the same way as well. This administration, the administrations. Okay, Tyler, I don't know who your editor is, buddy, but I think we got this one wrong. It's okay. I constantly make mistakes too. I don't blame you. The administrations are so politicized that anytime a special agent comes forward as a whistleblower, they can expect to be thrown under the bus by leadership. And therein lies the problem. That's it right there. That's what we were driving at. We had to go through an entire article just to get to that. That's it. Let's go ahead and highlight that one as well. The administrations are so politicized. I mean, they are. They really are. And don't get me wrong, I fall victim to it too. You know, I get to blaming Democrats. I blame them more than I do Republicans. But let's be honest, Republicans too, you know, everything becomes polarized. And we all fall victim to it. And don't pretend like you don't. Sitting there listening to me, you know you do it too. We all do. That these special agents, they don't even want to come forward as whistleblowers because it is so politicized. They're going to just, like I said, their children's children, they're going to pay for it. You know, they can expect to be thrown under the bus by all the leadership. Go against the Muslim Brotherhood, you're crushed. Going against the Clintons, you're crushed. The FBI has long been politicized to the detriment of national security and law enforcement. The special agent added, quote, actively that Congress is investigating is being stonewalled by leadership and rank-and-file FBI employees, and the periphery are just doing their job. Amen to that. All Congress needs to do is subpoena involved personnel, and they will tell you what they know. These are honest people. See, that's what I was saying, and that's my take on it as well. I'm assuming these are just good, honest people. I mean, to work in the Federal Bureau of Investigations, you have to have the utmost integrity. I mean, that's the point. And if your integrity is compromised, then the entire justice system's compromised. You know? And don't get me wrong, we get the bad apples, like in this case, all the leadership, but these rank and file, who have been stonewalled by the leadership, as Tyler, the author of this article here, points out, and very eloquently, mind you. Thank you again, Tyler, for writing this article. We really appreciate it. They're honest people. They really are. Leadership cannot stop anyone from responding to a subpoena. These subpoenas also get legal counsel provided by the government to represent them. Meanwhile, the former Trump administration official who spoke the caller explained that the FBI's problems go way beyond Comey and McCabe. Oh, you think? All right, here we go. Quote, they know that it wasn't just Comey and McCabe in this case. That's too narrow a net to cast over these guys. There's a much broader corruption that seeped into the 7th floor at the Bureau. Everybody knows what the 7th floor is. That's the top dogs. At least I think it is. They ruined the credibility of the Bureau, and technically, and and the technical ability of the Bureau so systematically over the past several years, they're worried about their organizational reputation and their professional careers. Yeah, and I don't blame them. Subpoenas win. Exactly. Exactly. Give it a shiny color of importance. Subpoenas win. All right. So we're going way past how long this was supposed to be. We got about 4 minutes left. So let's just let's go back, and what do we know? So what do we know? According to Tyler here, and again, thank you, Mr. Durden, for this article. We really do appreciate it. There very well may be, according to the Daily Caller, and according to DeGenova, who reported to the Daily Caller, he and his wife have worked with a lot of whistleblowers, that there are actual rank and file FBI agents who are looking to come out and testify. They don't want to just come out and be a whistleblower because their children's will be scum of the earth because they're whistleblowers now. And we're using that empathy. We're putting ourselves in their shoes. So Mr. DeGenova here is saying, look, we have to subpoena them. Congressional subpoenas. That is the key, because then they can testify under oath and tell you the truth of what happened without the repercussions. That's the point here. That's what needs to be done. Will it happen? I believe in Nunes, Congressman Nunes. I think he's doing a wonderful job. He's hot on their trail. These Democrats, even some Republicans, they're all mad about this guy because he's right on their trail. I mean, let's be honest. He's uncovering it, and they smell it too. They know it's coming. You know, it's got scandal written all over it, and they're trying to spin it in any which way they can. But anyways, that's another story for another day. So that's what they need to do. Will they? Probably not. Does anything ever go the way it's supposed to go? No. So hopefully these people can, Congress will subpoena these rank and file members of the FBI so that we can get down to the nitty gritty and start putting some of these scumbags like these two ugly people you see right here behind bars. They need to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Lock them up!